Can you really live in Bali for under 1,000 a month? It's the question I see in my comments all the time. The one that fuels a million daydreams. You've seen the pictures, a laptop by the pool, a smoothie bowl for breakfast, and those endless sunsets. It's the digital nomad dream, the ultimate escape to paradise on a budget. But what does that life actually look like today? What does your money really get you? The truth is, Bali doesn't have just one price tag. It's a huge range of lifestyles, and the difference between just surviving and truly thriving is bigger than you'd think. I've called this island home for the past few years, and I've seen it all. I've lived on a super tight budget, and I've seen how the other side lives. The story sold online is often just a highlight reel. In this video, we're going to get real. We're not just giving you a vague list of expenses. We are going to build two totally different lives. First, we'll break down the 1,000 survivor budget. We'll show you exactly what kind of place you can afford, what you'll be eating, and what your social life looks like when every single rupee counts. Then, we'll switch gears and look at the comfortable thriver budget, a more realistic goal for most people, sitting around the $1,500 to $2,000 mark. We'll explore the upgrades you get for that extra money, from private villas to a social life that's about more than just watching the sunset. This is the real cost of living in paradise, the good, the bad, and the brutally honest. All right, let's talk about the magic number everyone throws around, $1,000 a month. Can you do it? The short answer is yes. But the real question is, what kind of life does that get you? This is what I call the survivor budget. It's for the hardcore bootstrapper, the backpacker turned long-stayer, or the new digital nomad who needs to save every penny. This lifestyle means making compromises, living like a local, and giving up most of the Western comforts you're used to. It's definitely an adventure, but it's not the glamorous life you see on Instagram. Let's break it down. First things first, your biggest expense and what defines your lifestyle. Where you live. On a survivor budget, you can forget about private villas with infinity pools. That's a different world. Your reality is a room in a local guest house, known as a homestay or a kosan. These are basically local boarding houses, often run by a family, with simple, no-frills rooms. For about $250 to $400 a month, you can get a private room. But let's be clear about what that room is. It's going to be basic. Think a bed, a small closet, and maybe a desk. You'll have a fan, because AC is a luxury that eats up electricity, something your budget can't handle. Your bathroom might be private, but it could easily be shared with other tenants. Hot water isn't a given. Many locals use a mandi, a traditional cold water shower. It's actually refreshing in the Bali heat, but it's a shock at first. The kitchen is another big one. Most cost rooms at this price won't have a private kitchen. You might get access to a shared one, which could be anything from a decent setup to just a single gas burner and a sink. This pretty much dictates your food budget, meaning you'll either be doing very simple cooking or eating out at the cheapest spots. Location is key when you're on a tight budget. To get these prices, you have to live outside of the main spots like Canggu, Seminyak, or even central Ubud. You'll be in less trendy, more local neighborhoods, or even further out in places like Lovina or Ahmed. These areas offer a more authentic Bali experience, but the trade-off is you're far from the main expat scene, the cool cafes and the co-working spaces. You won't find these places on Airbnb. It takes legwork, driving around looking for rent signs and asking locals. It's a hustle, but it's how you lock in those rock-bottom prices. This place is a base to sleep, not a sanctuary of comfort. When your housing is basic, your food choices are everything. On the survivor budget, your diet will be delicious, but almost 100% Indonesian. The secret to eating for under $200 a month is the local warung. These are small, family-owned spots that are the heart of the community. Here, you can get a huge, filling meal for a crazy low price. Your go-to will be nasi campur, or mixed rice. You get rice, and then you point to what you want. Tempeh, tofu, different veggies, maybe a little chicken or fish, and of course, some spicy sambal. A full plate can cost you as little as $1 to $2. Other staples like nasi goreng, fried rice, or mie goreng, fried noodles, are in the same price range. This is your diet. Lunch and dinner most days. It's tasty, and it works for the budget. What about Western food? A single brunch in a Canggu cafe with avocado toast and a fancy coffee can run you $10 to $15. That's almost a week's worth of food at a warung. So those pretty cafe mornings? They're a very rare treat, if ever. On this budget, you become a warung expert. You find the best ones in your area, you get to know the owners, and you fully embrace the local food. Cooking at home is an option, but it has its hurdles. Like I said, your kitchen might be tiny. If you do have one, you'll be shopping at the local markets or bazaars. It's a great cultural experience, but you have to know what you're doing. You'll be buying local stuff: spinach, chilies, rice, eggs, tempeh. Anything imported, like cheese, good bread, or olive oil, is a specialty item with a price tag that could wreck your entire weekly food budget. You can keep groceries around $100 to $200 a month, but it takes serious discipline. In Bali, freedom is two wheels. On the survivor budget, your only real option is a scooter. There's no room for taxis or using Grab or Gojek much at all. The good news is, renting a scooter is cheap. You can find a basic Honda Vario or Scoopy for about $50 to $70 a month. This scooter is everything. It gets you to the market, the beach, everywhere. Gas or benzene is also cheap. You can get it at the official Pertamina stations or from roadside stands selling it out of old vodka bottles. A full tank is only about 30 and will last you for days. But scooter life isn't always a dream. Bali traffic is chaotic. A messy dance of bikes, cars, and dogs. You must have an international driving permit to be legal, and you have to wear a helmet. The roads can be rough in rural areas, and the rainy season is a whole other challenge. The scooter isn't a luxury, it's a must-have, and you have to learn to navigate the roads fast. You won't be cruising in an air-conditioned car. You'll be in the middle of it all: sun, heat, and exhaust fumes. It's authentic, but it isn't always comfortable. This is all the little stuff that adds up. Your rent might include some utilities, but electricity is often extra. You'll become obsessed with your usage because air conditioning is the #1 budget killer. Running an AC can easily add $50 or more to your monthly bill. A local SIM card with data is essential and, thankfully, cheap. Around $7 to $11 for a good amount of data. Laundry is another small but constant expense. You won't have a washing machine. You'll use a local Kilo laundry service. It's affordable, but it's another thing to do. So, after you've paid for your room, food, and scooter, what's left for fun? Not much. The survivor lifestyle is about free entertainment. Your weekends are about going to the beach, watching the sunset, hiking to a waterfall, or checking out a local ceremony. These are the amazing parts of Bali that don't cost anything. But the paid activities that are so popular are mostly off-limits. A drop-in yoga class is $10. A gym membership is maybe $35 to $60 a month. A single cocktail at a beach club can be $8. These are luxuries. Your social life will be about meeting other budget travelers at your guest house or finding free community events. It forces a different kind of socializing, one that isn't about spending money. All in, with rent at $300, food at $200, a scooter at $60, and another $100 for utilities and other essentials, you're at $660. That leaves you a tiny buffer for emergencies. While some sources say $1,250 is a more realistic minimum for an enjoyable time, living under $1,000 is possible, but it's a tightrope walk. It's a life of constant budgeting, saying no a lot, and embracing a truly simple local life. Okay, let's flip the script. What happens when we bump the budget to what I call the comfortable thriver level? This is usually between $1,500 and $2,000 a month. This isn't crazy luxury, but it is a life of comfort, convenience, and choice. It's the lifestyle most long-term expats and successful digital nomads are actually living. That extra $500 to $1,000 a month doesn't just make things a little better, it transforms every part of your life. The biggest upgrade by far is where you live. With a budget of around $700 to $2,200 for housing, the world of private rentals opens up. Goodbye shared kitchens and cold showers. Hello, private villa. At this price, you can rent a modern one-bedroom villa with your own private pool. This is the game changer. It's the picture everyone has in their head of Bali life. This villa will have a proper living room, a full kitchen, good Wi-Fi, and most importantly, powerful AC in the bedroom. It becomes your sanctuary, a place to escape the heat and noise. This price will often include a weekly cleaner and pool guy, which frees up your time and makes life feel effortless. Your location options also get way better. While the fanciest villas in the heart of Canggu or Seminyak might still be out of reach, you can now afford to live in great spots like Barawa, Pererenan, or the nicer parts of Ubud and Uluwatu. You're close enough to the action, the cafes, co-working spaces, and beaches, without being in the middle of all the noise. You can find these villas in Bali rental Facebook groups or by using local agents. A huge tip here is that landlords love long-term tenants. If you can pay for 6 months or a year upfront, you can usually negotiate a much better monthly rate. It's a big initial cost, but it secures your slice of paradise for less. Your home is no longer just a place to crash. It's a central part of your lifestyle. With a bigger food budget of around $300 to $500 a month, your food world explodes. You're no longer stuck eating only at warungs. The Thriver lifestyle is about mixing it up. You can still grab a cheap and delicious nasi campur for lunch, but now you have the freedom to check out Bali's amazing cafe and restaurant scene for dinner. You can start your day with that Instagram-perfect smoothie bowl or a fancy oat milk latte overlooking a rice field. You can meet friends for a nice Western dinner, enjoying everything from real Italian pizza to fresh sushi, with a meal costing around $10 to $20. You can afford a glass of wine or a craft beer with dinner, small things that were impossible on the Survivor budget. Your grocery shopping changes too. You can now afford to shop at the big supermarkets that have all the imported stuff. Craving good cheese, a loaf of sourdough, or quality Australian beef? You can just go buy it. This means you can cook way more interesting meals in your new, fully equipped kitchen. You can have friends over for dinner at your villa, which is one of the best parts of this lifestyle. This budget lets you experience the entire range of Bali's food scene, from a humble street food stall to a trendy restaurant. Food is no longer just about survival. It becomes a huge part of your social life and entertainment. You'll still have a scooter. It's still the best way to get around day to day. But with a bigger budget, you might get a newer, more powerful bike for more comfort. The real difference, though, is that the scooter is no longer your only choice. The Thriver budget has room for using ride-hailing apps like Grab and Gojek all the time. This is a massive lifestyle upgrade. Going out for dinner and want to have a few drinks? Instead of a risky scooter ride home late at night, you can just order a car for a few bucks. Is it pouring rain? Stay dry and comfortable in the back of a Gojek. That choice makes you feel so much safer and your life way more convenient. You can also afford to explore the island more. Renting a car for a weekend trip becomes an option, allowing you to take comfortable road trips to places like the mountains up north or the beautiful beaches in the east without being exhausted from a long scooter ride. Transportation is no longer just about getting from A to B, it's about picking the safest and most comfortable option for the situation. A private villa means higher utility bills. You'll be running the AC at night and keeping the pool pump going. Your monthly utility bill might be closer to the $100 to $200 range. You'll also pay for the fastest fiber optic internet you can get, which is a must if you work online. But the biggest change is in your lifestyle budget. This is where you really start to thrive. A budget of $100 to $300 a month for fun opens up all the activities Bali is known for. You can get that unlimited yoga pass or a membership at a modern, air-conditioned gym. You can spend an afternoon at a fancy beach club, paying for a daybed and sipping cocktails. You can take surf lessons, go scuba diving, or join a weekend retreat. Your social life gets so much better because you can finally say yes. Yes to dinner invitations. Yes to birthday parties at a nice restaurant. Yes to meeting friends for sunset drinks. You can join a co-working space, not just for the Wi-Fi, but for the community and networking. This is where you make real friends and connections. Your life is no longer about watching paradise from the sidelines. You're actually a part of it. It's worth mentioning the top end of the scale because it sits right alongside the other lifestyles. For those with a budget of $2,500 to $5,000 a month or more, Bali offers a life of serious luxury. This is the world of huge, multi-bedroom designer villas with a full-time staff, including a private chef and driver. Transportation is a private driver on call 24/7. Dining means going to the island's best fine dining restaurants, where tasting menus can cost hundreds of dollars. For families, this budget covers the massive expense of international schools, which can be over $1,000 a month per kid. It's a life of total convenience and luxury, a world away from the budgets we've been focused on. but seeing this helps you understand the full picture. Bali isn't just cheap or expensive. It's a mirror that reflects the budget you bring. No matter if you're a survivor or a thriver, there are a few key tips for managing your money in Bali. First, always have health insurance. Good private healthcare is available, but it's not cheap, and one medical emergency can destroy your savings. Second, understand your visa situation. The cost for visas, whether it's a simple extension or a long-term Kai test, need to be part of your budget. Finally, for big things like long-term rent, don't be afraid to negotiate. It's expected here, and being polite and friendly can often get you a better deal, especially if you can commit to a longer stay. So, if you got some real value out of this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk about life on the island of the gods. I really want to hear from you. Looking at these two lifestyles, where do you see yourself? Would you take on the $1,000 Survivor Challenge, or is the comfortable Thriver life more your style? Let me know what you think and any questions you have in the comments below. So, what's the real cost of living in Bali? As you've seen, there's no one answer. The dream of living in paradise for under $1,000 a month is technically possible, but it comes with huge compromises and takes a tough, minimalist attitude. It's a life rich in local culture but poor in Western comforts. The more comfortable, sustainable, and frankly, more enjoyable version of the Bali dream, the one that lets you enjoy the cafes, yoga, and social scene, realistically needs a budget closer to $1,900 to $2,000 a month. The main thing to remember is that Bali can be whatever you make it. It can be a place to push your limits and live on a shoestring, or it can be a place to build a life of comfort and ease. The dream isn't a lie, but it does come with a price tag. The key is to be honest with yourself about the life you really want and to budget for it. That way, you're not just surviving in paradise, you're actually thriving. And when you're watching the sky turn orange over the Indian Ocean, you'll know you made the right choice for you.